Well, it was a heck of a game. I'm proud of our guys. I thought that both offensively and defensively we played really well, especially from the start. We had some hiccups special teams-wise. Seemed like old times there for a while. But, you know, all in all, when the first groups were out there, they played pretty well. And challenged our guys this week, and they accepted the challenge. I had a long memory from a year ago, and I think they did too. So went out and played hard, and the credit goes to players. They went out and busted their tail.
Coach. Coach Johnson. I guess you guys had two occasions where the helmet rule came in today, and do you think they were targeting trying to rip his helmet off the end of plays?
Yes. That's what he said. I don't know. I didn't see it. He told me they were pulling it off in the pile. I don't know. But it's ironic that it only came off on the goal line in the scrum. But, you know, that's something that could be it's happened to us now in 2 or 3 games, especially on key plays. But, you know, I thought Vad went in there and did a nice job. We didn't ask him to do a whole lot. He was right on the goal line. But still, to go in that situation, it was good.
Paul, I know you're not one for grand declarations after a win or a loss, but how significant is it to you that your team responded this way after the loss at Virginia Tech in the last conference game?
I don't think there was any other way to respond. I mean, we were disappointed that we lost that game. We had our opportunities and didn't get it done. We didn't play particularly well. Probably didn't coach real well. And we dug ourselves a hole. We just got to take it 1 week at a time and see if we can't dig out. You know, it's still, I said before the game that it's a long year. I mean, it's a long year. So just got to take it 1 week at a time and try to get better. And I think we've gotten better every week. That's the key.
Paul, can you talk a little bit about the blocking of Jeff Green on that first touchdown run on the perimeter?
Yeah, he got into the corner pretty good and was riding him out of bounds, and that's what we need. We've talked about that, and Coach Preston's worked a lot on it in practice, and that's why I wanted to hug his neck, because that's what we need out of him. And he was physical, and he got after it. And it's like I told him, I said, that's your touchdown, because you're the guy who just rolled the corner. I mean, he rolled him, too. He had him almost out of bounds.
Coach, you mentioned challenging your team. What exactly did you challenge them with?
Well, I just challenged them. I mean, it's like when you lose, if you care, it ought to bother you. And, you know, I heard a long time ago, revenge is a great motivator for those who care. So they cared. You know, we were embarrassed the way we played up there a year ago.
Coach, after next week, you guys will have faced 3 division opponents in the same month. Do you think that's an advantage or a disadvantage to having a front-loaded ACC schedule?
Ask me after next week. You know, you play in the league, honestly, you're going to get this good caliber opponents pretty much every week. So you got to play them sometime. I mean, to have 3 division games in the same month was something, but you know, if we could have come out of the month of September undefeated, we would have been in good shape. If we can come out at 2-1 in the league, we're still got a heartbeat and we're still fighting. So that's what the goal is.
Coach, what do you make of the pistol work that Vad did today and his performance overall in the game?
Well, the pistol didn't work much. We ran a few plays from it. I'm not sure that we got much out of it. Completed a pass or 2. You know, off the top of my head, I can't remember anything that stood out to me out of that formation.
Coach, you mentioned earlier this week about the perimeter blocking and how you wanted to get better. Obviously, a lot of big plays that were sprung by it.
Closer. I mean, we missed some, but we were better. Right before halftime, we ended up scoring anyway, but the option to the left, we were about this close to that being a touchdown. The pitch to BJ, he kind of got tripped. We had both of them fed up, and he hit the seam. If he hadn't tripped, I think he would have scored there. But it was some better. I mean, you know, like I said, it's like everything else. We got to get better at it. But it was better than the first 2.
Coach,
You guys are killing me with these double mics, yeah.
without looking at the film, were you pretty well pleased with the changes you made in the offensive line?
Yeah, I thought, I think that gives us a chance to get 5 really solid guys out there that have played a lot. And, I thought that Will did some good things when I saw him at tackle. So for the first game, I'm sure when we watch the tape, there'll be some issues like there will everywhere. But proud of him to go out there and do that in 2 days of practice. But Will's a really smart kid. He's really smart. So he catches on well.
Once again, you had a couple plays that really help you keep momentum, particularly on defense in the second quarter. Talk about that 4th down stop and the interception and how that really kind of helped you keep the flow going.
The first 4th down stop, anytime you get they had a big kick return, so anytime that you can escape that without points, that was a positive. Which interception are you talking about?
The one right before the half. And you were able to turn it into points, I guess.
Yeah, we were able to turn it into points because the series where we had to punt the ball, we'd missed a couple reads and it was a little frustrating because I thought we had a chance to go up 35-7 at half. And then Lewis made a nice play. We got the pick, and it wasn't executed beautifully at all times. So guys need to learn to get out of bounds. But, we got it in the end zone, so it's what counts.
Two subjects. First, physically on both sides of the ball, you guys sort of seem to set the tone pretty early. So just comment on that, and also Tevin's play in the game.
Well, that was the challenge. I mean, before we left the hotel, I challenged those guys man to man. Who's going to back down? Who's going to step up? And they answered the call. I mean, most games are decided up there. If you can out physical or at least stay, not get pushed back and stay neutral, you got a chance. I thought Tevin played well. I mean, when he was in there, he did some good things, had some nice runs. We missed a read or two, but all in all, he got the right play called and executed and got the ball in the hands of the playmakers, and I thought he did a nice job.
Can you talk a little bit about the just overall defensive performance? You got quite a few stops in a row.
Well, it was better. I think, if you can stop the running game, you can play. And we limited their running game until there at the end. They got a few yards there in the last drive or two against some of the second and third teamers. But for the most part, the first team did really good against the running game. And if you can't run the football, it's hard to play most of the time.
Coach, last week you talked about Tony keeping some points off the board, running the guy down, and you had another example this week with Chris Milton.
Yeah, Chris, on the kickoff return, did a nice job of folding back and chasing the guy down. And when you do that, who knows what happens. Got another 4th down stop and took points off the board, so it was great to see.
Yeah, obviously the score didn't dictated that he didn't have to come back. What about Zach Lasky? I mean, is he okay?
He was available in the second half if we needed him, but I didn't want to put him back in there.
Can you talk about the first play? Is that something you saw and you guys didn't want to exploit?
I was just luck, yeah. Well, what do you think?
Well, I think, maybe what was it that you saw that, you wanted to get him single, I guess, on 44?
Well, it's just the matchup. You're going to get the guy on the linebacker, and he played the out route, and he ran a wheel route. It was a great throw by Tevin, a great route by Zach.